Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's trade recap. Today is April 10th, Friday, ending the week, and had a really good setup today. So, yeah, this was the second setup of the week that was good. I believe this week I have taken three trades. There was one yesterday for sure. That was the break even, and then there was also one on Tuesday for sure. That one was the best trade I had had in a while. And this one, point wise, I think, yeah, because the last one was around like 35 points, I believe. Trying to remember, but this one was 50 points, so this was the best trade I've had long time that I can remember, especially off of one mini. So, yeah, jumping into it, we basically have to start the morning out. We had CPI data release, and we had this data high here. Now, one thing I will say is I've seen a lot of people today who trade inversions and everything like that really get chopped up today in this targeting these data highs, and they're all donuts. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly, to be frankly honest today, I woke up around like 10. So as you can see, by the time I got on the chart, like 10:05, 10:11 ish, I started to see basically this 5 minute. Like I actually, it was more like 10:10 on the chart because honestly, I think I probably would have taken this 1 minute right here if I was on earlier. But I literally pretty much woke up like as soon as this 5 minute was inversing, quickly looked, and I was like, okay, we have data highs, we have a 15 minute, we took out this low right here. Like this is looking good. So realistically, could this have been a losing day like a lot of people had today? I think so, especially because we took out a low here, tapped in this 15 minute. I probably would have taken this 1 minute right here entered, and the break even point would have been right here, which we would have just barely missed. Now, knowing me, there is a possibility we were, yeah, two and a half points shy of that. I probably would have got break even more than likely, unless, let's see, did ES take out the high first? No. So, yeah, again, hypothetically, it's hypothetical I would have even taken this. I probably would have though, but I also probably would have gotten break even when I saw that we had just wicked from 2.5 points of being break even, just because of how bad conditions have been for what I think is like 2 months now. So yeah, this week, like I said, has been the best week I have had in I can't even remember how long, and that's just based off the two trades that I've taken this week that have severely helped the Apex account, which I've been updating on Twitter. So if you have Twitter, follow me in there if you want a lot more live updates compared to YouTube. It will be in the description below. But this Apex account that I'm on was like roughly 200 shy from max drawdown, and now we're sitting around almost 5,200. It's at 51,750 ish. So yeah, pretty crazy. I have had obviously other trades and stuff like that, some losses, some wins, but the losses have been pretty good, and the losses have been pretty like my average win, honestly. Besides this week, they were both like in the thousands. I can't make more than 1,300, so there today was around 1,000. Last one was like 1,200, but the average ones were like 800. My average losses have been like 354. So there's some analytics for everyone that's very curious on that. But yeah, that's just pretty much to get you guys all back up to date. And then recently to yesterday, I just had some Apex or not Apex Top Step evals just reset. I haven't activated them yet, but we'll plan on doing that soon. Probably plan on doing that. Sorry, once I get this account to a payout, because then I really want to focus on my attention on this account. I've never taken payout through Apex, and things are going good on this account. So I really just want to focus on this account and not trade between TradingView and TopSubX. That's in the past when things can get a little tricky for me. So yeah, I want to just focus on one account right now. And yeah, there's all the information from, just to catch you guys all back up. But anyways, getting into the setup today. So like I had said, we had this 15 minute down here holding, and okay, let me just do this real quick. I will never understand why TradingView has not fixed that yet. So yeah, we had this 15 minute down here that, we tapped into, severely wicked out of. And like I had said, I had started to see this 5 minute, and I quickly looked. I was like, okay, We have an internal high here. We have data highs. Only thing I don't like when it comes to inverse fair value gaps is anything that's higher than a 3 minute time frame. Why? Because it just feels off in the gut, mainly because of the fact of how wide your stops and take profits have to be. It just feels like taking such a long shot, but it just, again, the setup I had taken Tuesday, very good. This one was like almost there. If this was like a 3 minute, 2 minute, whatever, okay, very good. But this just being the 5 minute, it was still up there, but just not. I don't know how to explain it, but I was still very confident on this, and I was like, I'm not letting this setup surpass. So I was like, okay, 30 points, 33 points, I can handle it. I can handle that loss. It's going to be a little higher than the average, but I was like, this is worth taking, and I'm just very confident on the setup. But the take profit too, $1,000, like, it seemed nice. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this and entered pretty much on a little bit of a retrace. I didn't get the full amount because I was also wanting to see on the 1 minute. We had this fair value gap right here. I wanted to see how we would react to the first one. Obviously, very good reaction. So once I started seeing that, that's when I had bought in. So technically, it was like right there, 21, 25. Yeah, but on this candle right here. So I'll just do bar replay. So yeah, entered there, and I didn't even really switch to the 1 minute time frame. I was like, you know what? If this is just gonna work out, it's gonna work out. So I'm looking at this on like my phone. I actually did take this on my phone. So yeah, I pretty much just watched it play on the 5 minute time frame. I like, was like, okay, this looks pretty decent. I was actually in a little bit of drawdown, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, actually no, I did enter on this candle once we had tapped into the fair value gap. And then because I believe I was in a little bit of drawdown. Again, can't 100% remember, but just trying to go based off what I knew. One thing I hated to see is how he wicked the break even high. I was like very paranoid about that, but that's also where I did go break even. I was like, okay, honestly, break evens at these points in these conditions have been feeling like wins. So I was like, at least I'm break even. If I get break even, again, it happened yesterday. It just sucks because these break evens that I've had, I've been up like $400 to $500 usually, and then I get break even. So this was pretty similar. I think this was like at this point it was like 550, maybe 600. I was like, this is really gonna suck if it gets break even, but I'd rather take that than the loss. So saw her react. But then we were thankfully able to, in the next 5 minute candle, take out my take profit for roughly around 8,000 minus the fees. So yeah, very, very thankful for today, how it played out, how I set up presented, but also that I wasn't on till later, as I had previously mentioned, because again, I know a lot of people got caught up in stuff like this. And honestly, I'm not one to say, oh, you should have waited, blah, 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 blah. I just think, like, maybe there was, watching Price Live, there was, especially like I said, this one was probably like a decent setup to take. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And then also congrats to anybody who, took the reversal off data high. Perfect 1 minute entry there. All of this. And I did really think about like, that could be a possible entry, but I could only make 300 more bucks on the account anyways, and I'm gonna take my 50-point win for the day. So, yeah, let me know how you guys did today, because I know it could have been a difficult day for some people. And again, if you don't already follow me on Twitter, like I said, more live updates on there compared to the YouTube. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.